holding me back.
Is it because I'm black? Michelle Alexander has written extensively about the mass incarceration and the age of colorblindness, and we want to talk about what that means in terms of voting. People died for the right to vote in the United States. And yet today, what happens to people who are in prison?
Felon disenfranchisement laws have now accomplished what poll taxes and literacy tests ultimately could not. People in the United States are stripped of the right to vote in many states if they have a felony conviction, including a minor drug conviction can, wind up labeling you as a felon for life. And when people are released from prison, they can be stripped of the right to vote for a period of years, or in, a few states for the rest of your life. And I find that many people kind of shrug their shoulders at that when I remark on the fact that so many people are denied the right to vote because of criminal convictions. But in other Western democracies, people who are in prison have the right to vote. But here we deny the right to vote not only if you're in prison, but once you're released. I think in maybe 2 states you're allowed. One of them is Vermont, where you can vote in prison. Yes, absolutely. But we just don't seem to take democracy as seriously here in the United States, particularly if you're poor.
This whole emphasis in recent years on by many police departments on quality of life arrests and stop and frisks. So in New York City, for instance, 600,000 people stopped and frisked by the militarization of the schools, arresting students in schools, police departments actually functioning within the schools. The impact on the underside of the building of this Jim Crow system at that level, at the street level and at the school level.
Yes, that is the engine of mass incarceration, is the stream of people who are fed into the system through these kinds of aggressive policing tactics like stop and frisk. And, think about that. In 1 year alone, 2010, more than 600,000 people were stopped and frisked in the city of New York. And in less than 15% of those cases, was there any kind of suspect description involved. The overwhelming majority of those stops and frisks were police stopping, frisking people on their way to school, on their way to work, on their way to church, and inevitably people are fed into the criminal justice system in that fashion and labeled criminals or felons for engaging in extremely minor nonviolent offenses.